All right, we have our leaf all stitched around the edges by hand, and we're going to now go around the edges with a zigzag stitch. So I have mine set on 4 with 4, a regular zigzag stitch, nothing fancy. If you want to, you could do something fancier, but just regular zigzag. And the first time around, I go around with, let's see, I have it at just a little between 1 and 2 in length, so it's not very close together. And I'll show you my technique for, we're going to sew right off the edges, and that'll give us a nice string, you know, some threads to pull when we go around it a second time. So I'm going to start, I start here. I always start in here, right? So right in there where you have your seam and those, you know, at the top of the leaf, I would say. All right, so you can back, oh, I'll put it in the, oops. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I'll put it in your supply list, but this is a rayon thread, so it gives a nice shiny finish. Okay, so let's get started. So when you get to the end of the point of the leaf separation, you're going to pull it out, and you're going to pull about, I don't know, 2 inches, maybe a little bit more, of thread. So you leave it hanging. Okay. To avoid entanglements, let's cut the first thread though. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Great. So here we go. We're going to use this to pull our threads through. We're going to pull our threads. We're going to start almost at the point, but not completely. Not completely. We'll catch the point when we come around the second time. So pulling our threads, and there we go. Pivoting around the separation. Right, and second one. Pivot a little bit on this one, and then on around. Stitch right off there. Right, so what you have now is a leaf with some little threads hanging off. We're going to then continue that. Almost on the edge, holding my threads and pulling this through, helping it go. Okay, as you can see, I think you can see, we have these threads which help us already to stitch right from the edge. But when we go around the second time, we'll be able to get even closer and close off those tips and keep them really sharp. So we're just going to continue around like that. Here's your leaf now stitched around the edges with lots of threads hanging off, looking a little strange, but that's okay. That'll help us get more precision going around the second time. So let's see, I've left my width at 4 for my zigzag, plain zigzag, and I've just tightened up the length a little bit so that it's a little closer together, so it's closer to 1. This is an old Singer, so that's pretty much as tight as it'll get. If you find that going around twice isn't enough, you can always go around an extra time to make a really strong outline. Okay, so I'm starting again at the same place. Okay, so now when we get to the edge, the point, we're not going to stitch off. We're going to be careful. So we're going to hold on to our threads, get them out of the way. All right, so we're gonna, right at the tip, we're gonna pivot. The needle is in the fabric, as you can see. Pivot around, get into pretty much the right position. Take the needle out at this point and go further away than the point. You're just gonna go just above the point, sort of, yeah. Hold on to your threads. You've got 4 of them. Then you're gonna pull. There we go. Hold the other one down. Okay, you're gonna pivot around your opening between the 2 as before. Pivot. Okay. Use your threads to guide you to the point. All right, just at the edge of the point, pivot again and get your leaf tip into alignment. Take out your needle, back up just a little bit, grab your threads, hold tight, and pull it on through. Carefully around the curve here, the very tight curve in between each section. Okay, and here we go. Alright, you've got the hang of it. I will let you finish, and we'll see what we do after that, if we go around it another time or not. So I'll see you in the next step. Here's my leaf. I did decide to go around it a 3rd time, so you can see it gives a nice bold edge, nice and clean. Don't forget to do around the opening, so I haven't done that yet, so don't forget that. And I just wanted to show you this optional step that I like to do, and that is to stitch really close to the edge of my zigzag stitch all the way around in a straight stitch. So I'm gonna just get that started, show you how I do that. Don't cut your threads because you can use them to pull your points through the machine. So I'm just gonna start here, and I'm just going to go around once, and I've used a slightly darker thread. So you'll see it in a second. And we're just going to go right around and then just adjust it. If you think it needs to be smaller, like a shorter stitch, you can. Or you can do a longer one. I'm at 2 right now on my machine. So same thing, we're going to go right down to the point and pivot without taking it out. So, and the whole time we're inside of the zigzag stitch along the inner edge. Doesn't have to be exact, but you know, just keep going around. And I'll let you continue on.